Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and in this classic review, we're going back in time. We're going to be taking a look at the G.I. Joe, a real American hero, Cobra C.L.A.W, and we're going to be taking a look at this fun little vehicle. And this thing is really awesome. This is another one that you could take to grandma and grandpa's house, your aunt and uncles, your cousins, over to your best friend's house to stay the night, anything like that that you were going to be doing. And we're going to be taking a look and see how it actually can house a character, or it can also be used as a drone. We're also going to take a look and see how it can fit on a specific vehicle, and see how it also maybe can fit onto a playset. Now, these are certain things that over time, many of us found out later on. I don't think most of us knew this as a kid. A lot of people know it now, or you may not even know, and you're going to be like, holy crap, I didn't know. And if you have these, you may be running downstairs into your G.I. Joe room and putting them together and going, oh my gosh, I had no idea. So anyway, we're going to get into this in just 1 second. But anyway, here we go. That's the outskirts of it. This is not my original. I actually have 3. None of my original, as they have been in, let's just say my original saw better days. But anyway, it's time to get out of here. Tell me a story if you had this. My hand is completely covering it up. Tell me a story if you had this, what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. Come on, how could you not like this? But it's time to get into this video. But before we do, you stayed this long, please take a second. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a small vehicle. Alright, so here we have the Cobra C.L.A.W, and I know what you might be thinking. Why do you have so much other stuff around? Well, we kind of got to show some stuff. Or you might be going, why is that claw on the hiss? Like, well, we're going to take a look at that. So, first off, let's take a look at this thing. And as I like to do, we'll look at the accessories first. So, it does come with 2 small missiles that sit right on the wings. Now, they're using the dog bone, so you don't have to worry about them kind of moving around and shaking. I like this a lot more. You got 4 little wings right up there, and then you have just 2 wing tips right up there, and they just plug in there, like so. And then if you want to use it as a bomb drone, it has the 1 bomb that just kind of sat like this. So this would be used for other things if need be, right? We saw something very similar to this in the shark video that I did. All right, so we're going to have that there. Once again, this is a bomb, so this is just going to drop, and it's going to go straight down. It's got the wing tips here. They just allow it to go down, and then you can see where it is going to compress and explode. All right, as for our little claw, this thing was actually a lot of fun. So first thing that we'll look at is it has the little piece here that comes off, and now you can see the mechanics of the gun that is on top. I can only imagine firing something off something like this. It seems like it might be pretty problematic, but again, this is fun. All right, so you got a little bit of vent right there. Well, it looks like almost maybe lights right there, but with this on, it was going to cover it. All right, now I only have 1 of these, so my other ones are not complete. I'm missing the missile, or I'm sorry, the bomb and the cover. So here's your design. We see a little bit of electronics, or I keep saying electronics, I mean wiring that's going to go into these mechanics here. Here it looks like a little vent. You got your gun right here. It doesn't move, it just fires straight across. And then who knows what those actually are. Looking up here, you got 2 wings that sit up. We got the 2 jets on either side. And this here is actually a good design to actually protect the legs from being, let's say, burnt off. All right, moving across, you can kind of see the scales. They kind of just run across here, the different panels. And then you have these 2 wings on either side, and they extend. And like, there'd be no purpose for this other than, you know what, everyone loved the Sky Striker, the sweep wings. Let's just do something to add to it. And that's exactly what this is. They're able to take a smaller vehicle and just make it extend a little bit longer. Here you're going to have your controllers, your controller flaps, whatever they're called. So if you want to go down, If you want to go up, if you want to maintain going straight, you can. And again, as always, just a little bit of detail put right there. And then here, the same thing. This is going to rock back and forth to control where the air is going as you're flying this this Cobra Claw, this some sort of glider. Now it also has wheels. Why wouldn't it have wheels? You're not going to land on your feet, are you? So here is where you're going to hold it, right up here. You can kind of see the devices right here. They're just kind of holding it. This was hopefully you could get a hand on it. You have the wheels, and they actually do roll. On the bottom, you can see where you can actually put a figure. And you do have the air vents for the exhaust as it's coming through here, and it's blowing out the jet engine. All right. Looking here, it actually has what would look like, not hydraulics, but springs, because when this thing would land in real life, you definitely would want to have it just kind of spring a little bit. Although if you're right on the bottom, I don't know if you really want to do that so much. All right, so everything is designed right there. You can see the hooks, or the little pieces right there. So that would actually plug into it. So when this would get loose, hopefully you could plug that in there, and then it would stay up. Now this one is actually fairly tight, and even here, you can see the way that is. So when you extended it, kind of pushed right into place. So it just added a little bit more tension to it, so you didn't have to worry about it falling off or coming down. But as for the characters, well, I'm going to take this Cobra Trooper. Let's take off his gun. And there you go. He's going to plug it directly into here. He can reach up here. This is how he was meant to control it. I'm still not really sure how he decided he was going to fire it, or anyone. So you could hold it, I guess, the best possible way here. I would say it still doesn't look great. I'm also not really pressing this guy. If I remember correctly, this guy, his arms are really tight. So I got another figure here. So I want to kind of make sure we can grab onto it. But I have a Firefly here. Let's see how his arms are. Ugh. He's fairly tight too. And I know you're saying, whoa, wait a minute. Why do you Firefly? You haven't? Yeah, I know I haven't reviewed him yet. It's coming, people. He's coming. All right. So, kind of just pop this on just like that. If I remember correctly, I used to kind of just have their hands on top of it. All right. So they just kind of sat like this. Now they are going to have to hold their legs completely out. But if you did want to land it, they're not going to touch the ground. Again, these are some major ab strengths right there. So that is your Cobra Claw. Now, I know what you're saying right now. You still got that one sitting in the back. And I don't know what you mean by that. I don't understand. Why do you have a hiss there? Well, I'll show you quickly. So things were designed, and I had no idea. But these two notches right here were meant for the wheels. I know you may not know this yet, but it is. And even though this was out well before this, they were thinking far ahead of anyone else. So here we go. That just sits right in there. And then it lined up perfectly right down the back of the hiss. But as you can see here, it just kind of sat right in there. So you're able to now be towing this. And we got the gunner up here. Now he better not move this or this thing's going to come off. But you're able to move this and you can transport it. Maybe you needed to get to Cobra Commander. He needed to fly out. So you're going to take this as his personal one. So that's what that is there for. But I also did mention something about a playset. So even though this playset has not come out yet, they made sure when they went and designed it that it fit there. So you know what? Let's head on over to that playset. All right, so here we're at the Terradrome, and there's two ways to do this. All right, so first you have to take off the bomb this way. And once you unlock this here, you can put this piece up here, and then you're just going to lock it in, and it sits up there perfectly fine the way that it's supposed to. You bring the wings in, and you can see how perfectly it is connected there. Now, I believe this is the way that it was actually meant to be done. Over time, you'll get breakages. This one over here is actually broken. We'll go over that when I eventually do the Terradrome, all right? And then you can still just reach in there. The other way that a lot of people will do it is this here, the wings will, or the tail wings here will fit right in here. So you're able to just kind of push it on here, and it will stay. Now, if you do it this way, you can actually leave the bomb on it. Probably have to bring this down just a bit. So this is another way to do it in case your tabs, if your tabs are broken, you might have to flip it around like I did over on this side. But this is another way that people do it. Normally, I just lock them on the top of it. This way, I can just remove them anytime that I need to. So there you go. There it is. That is how it can fit on this wonderful playset. All right, so there you go. That is the Cobra C.L.A.W. G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero. Tell me, did you have this little vehicle? Did you like it? Did you take its places? Did you lose the bomb? I feel like the bomb was like the first thing that got lost, even before these little missiles here. And I don't think anyone ever used a bomb, to be honest. I mean, whoever flew it as a drone and dropped it, I don't think anyone did. You were always going to put Cobra Commander or Destro or Cobra Troop or something like that. But again, fun little vehicle. It is easy something. It was easy to take somewhere. Again, you grab this, you grab your Skyhawk, and you are off to Grandma and Grandpa's house, and you are flying around. Especially if you have a cousin. We all had cousins like this. They were into Masters of the Universe or Transformers. So they didn't have G.I. Joe. So maybe like, hey, this time I'm going to bring a couple G.I. Joes. We'll play G.I. Joe. And next time we go to Grandma and Grandpa's, you bring the Transformers. We'll play Transformers. You know how it went. But anyway, tell me a story if you had it, if you liked it, what you didn't like about it, what you did like about it. Again, just taking you guys back in time a little bit, just to get away. Get away from what bills are. When Bill was Bill, he was a person, a kid you played with, not something you had to pay every single month or week or whatever your bills are. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I've wasted a lot of your time, but please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a classic review. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop up here a video that I've already done of the classic reviews. I'll probably scrap iron it, and down here will be the playlist of everything that I've done so far with the classic reviews. Take care.